All right. What is going on, everybody? I hope that this works today. We'll see what happens. What is going on, everybody? My name is Pete, but you probably already knew that. But in case you didn't, you guys are watching the one and only Pay to Drive and Pay to Drive vlogs, day number 1,117. Pretty impressive, pretty crazy. What is going on, everybody? I hope my volume is working. It says it's working, but every day it's been causing problems. I've been restarting my computer every day to make sure this works. So if you guys can hear me and see me in the chat, say yes, Pete, we hear you and see you. And if the audio cuts out at any point, please let me know. If you guys deliver for any of these apps, GrubHub, Doordash, Postmates, Uber Eats, or any of the others, you should definitely be subscribed to this channel with all notifications turned on, everybody. And of course, comment 111 if you hit the like, 222 if you haven't yet. What the like button does, so far so good. What the like button does is it tells YouTube that you guys are enjoying these videos and all that stuff. So make sure to do that if you could. So before we jump into this, which app right now for you personally, you watching, is making you the most money? Is it GrubHub? Is it Doordash? Is it Postmates? Is it Uber Eats? Is it one of the ones I haven't mentioned? Put that in the chat or put that in the comments. Because for me, it's always been GrubHub. But for a lot of people, it seems to be Doordash. So I wanted to read this article that I found where it literally simply says, rights for gig workers are a political issue, but many of them can't vote. It's a little bit of a lengthy article, so I'm going to read a good chunk of it, and let's jump into it here. I'm curious if you guys agree or disagree. This November, gig economy companies won a resounding victory on the California ballot. Remember this one? Voters overwhelmingly agreed to follow them to keep their workers as contractors, not employees. Now, those companies want to export that framework to the rest of the country. So you see where we're going with this? Executives at Uber Technologies Incorporated, Lyft Incorporated, and Doordash Incorporated have all called California's decision a blueprint for future fights as states around the country scrutinize the future of gig worker rights. The companies have even created a new national advocacy group to shape political discussions. That means voters and elected legislators could be increasingly called on to determine the employment rights of their Uber drivers and Doordash couriers. So what do you guys think so far? You guys remember all of this? Comment 333 if you remember this. Because let's just say this is kind of annoying that this is happening the way it's happening. You know? It is what it is. So let's jump on into it again. All right, I just want to make sure the audio is still working. One group that won't get a say, though, are many of the people actually driving and making deliveries. Gig economy workers are much more likely to be immigrants than the rest of the population. The result is that some aren't able to vote on the political tussles that will increasingly decide their employment status. By one estimate, as many as 1/3 of drivers working as independent contractors could be ineligible to vote. James Parrott, economic and fiscal policy director of the New School Center for New York City Affairs, said that in many major cities like New York, the high number of drivers who are immigrants and the number of those who aren't citizens means roughly 30% won't be able to cast a ballot, either directly for ballot measures or to support political candidates who reflect their views. That's pretty high, Parrott said. There is a significant risk of disenfranchisement. Tanya Edeval is one of those workers, a driver since 2014. Wow, they've been driving for a while, man. Edeval has driven for both Uber and Lyft and opposed the California ballot measure Proposition 22, which added some perks for gig workers, but also cemented their status as independent contractors. The only thing that's independent about what we do is when and where we log on and log off, she said, calling the framing around the ballot measure deceptive. Let's see. In the run-up to the election, Edeval spent hours on Mondays calling and texting drivers, urging them to vote no on the proposal, suggesting they prompt their riders to do the same. But as a Norwegian citizen with just a green card, she was unable to vote against it herself. Let's see. The population of drivers who are immigrants varies widely by market, but across the U.S., many have gravitated towards driving as a job. In New York, 90% of rideshare drivers are foreign-born, according to a 2018 study co-authored by Parrott and a professor of the University of California, Berkeley. In Seattle and the surrounding King County, they have found that the number was 72%. Hey, what's up, Nas? 72% in 2020, and in San Francisco, 56% of rideshare and delivery workers are not originally from the U.S., according to a report from the University of California, Santa Cruz earlier this year. App worker citizenship status greatly limits their ability to have a voice on ballot initiative like Prop 22, said Maria Figueroa, Director of Labor and Policy Research at Cornell University's Worker Institute. I would say that this was a factor in California and that it will play out in other markets such as New York, Chicago, Boston, and others. Because let's face it, besides, California, New York, Chicago, Boston, like major areas for gig app work. So I'm just curious, this definitely goes on and on for a little longer. What are your thoughts on this in general? Do you think that everyone should have the right to vote? Only certain people should have the right to vote for these things? What are your thoughts in general? Let me know in the comments. Let me know down below in the chat. And of course, the likes are a little bit low, guys. So make sure to hit that thumbs up down below. Comment 111 if you smashed the like, 222 if you haven't yet. And of course, I do want to take this time to thank all of our patrons over at patreon.com/PaidToDrive. And of course, our ultimate driver, Millard Norton, who has pledged $100 a month, which I never thought anyone would do. But Millard, thank you very much. And of course, thank you to Kimberly Thomas, Tulsa Todd, Heidi Barnes, Kurt Paul, Brian Pomeroy, William Boudreau, Justin Case, Sarah Keston, Alan G. Van Horn, Scott Freisner, Drew Hanor, Stephen Neely, Destiny Rudolph, Dave Chin, Frank Haviland, Jason Casta, Sherry Cassidy, Terry DeLong, Anthony Bliss, Nick G, Jenny Thomas, Matt Epperson, and Terrence Pacheco. That's right, everybody. Thank you to all of them. Hey, Nas, you didn't have to do that, man. Everyone say thank you to CPA Hustles. Nas, you are awesome, man. Really appreciate that. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, please make sure you're saving money with the Get Upside Gas app. Comment 333 if you're on there, 444 if you're not yet. Pump your gas, print out your receipt, take a picture of your receipt with the Get Upside Gas app, and within 48 hours or so, you'll get anywhere from 15 cents to 45 cents a gallon back, which is pretty fantastic. And if a friend or family member signs up using your code, you'll get paid every time they pump gas. It's called Get Upside. Links in the description down below. That's going to do it for me, guys. There was a little bit more of the article. If you want to check it out, the link will be in the description down below. And if it's not, leave me a comment and I'll put it. If you made it to the end, comment end 645 and 645. Put that in the chat or the comments. And until next time, get that money, get that honey. Keep hustling, keep bustling. And we'll see you guys next time right here on Pay to Drive and Pay to Drive Vlogs. Have a great one, guys. Thanks for spending a little bit of time with me. Take care. All right? Okay.